Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, a massive welcome to the community where hidden history meets hidden fortune. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about American nickels ever rumored in the rare coin world, a 1935 5-cent United States coin that some collectors believe can cost as much as $16 million due to extraordinary minting errors, metal anomalies, die mistakes, hub doubling, plating irregularities, misstruck planchets, alignment chaos, overpunch mysteries, experimental alloy accidents, strike pressure miscalculations, and freak combinations of imperfections that could, in theory, make a normal circulation nickel transform into a multi-million-dollar artifact. And while the officially catalogued most famous 1930s nickel variety belongs to a distinct minting narrative from the era of the Buffalo nickel production under the United States Mint, the fascination around 1935 issues begins with the broader historical context. The 1930s were volatile years for American coin manufacturing: recession pressures, overworked dies, aging punching equipment, inexperienced technicians, rush die polishing, die clashing from overtension presses, metal strip quality inconsistencies, blank planchet contamination, and experimental materials testing frequently slipped through the process, creating pockets of coins that were never supposed to exist, coins struck on flawed blanks sourced from unreliable metal batches delivered by external suppliers, batches containing micro-loosened particles that interfered with strikes, and mistakes like off-center impressions, where the die fails to land perfectly on the planchet surface, causing a crescent of blank metal visible on one side while the other side shows compressed features, sometimes by 5%, 10%, 15%, 30%, or even 50%, making the coin unbalanced in weight distribution, weight imbalances that confuse grading scales and include uneven reading compression along the rim, or even smooth sections where the collar didn't catch the strike. Another major anomaly theory relates to double die errors, where the die hub impresses the design onto the die twice at a microscopic offset, not the machine doubling seen on many coins, but true hub doubling, which results in ghost layers around lettering, dates, bison hairlines, facial contours, feather details, braid lines, and rim denticles, creating a 3D layered strain effect that can only be seen under magnification tools like a Red Book magnifier 5x lens or professionally via digital microscopes used by authentication firms like a distinct division of the professional coin grading service. Some theorized 1935 coins allegedly escaped with dramatic hub doubling combining obverse and reverse layering. Another rare value concept revolves around die clash marks, incidents where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring fragments of one design onto the opposing die in reverse relief. Meaning a 1935 coin might show faint mirrored impressions of the bison on the obverse or face fragments on the reverse. Metal flow scars created by this impact scatter around the coin fields like unintended art. Other hypothetical mistakes include lamination errors where the metal strip splits before striking, leaving peeled layer surfaces that resemble cracked enamel, wood grain, or blistered textures, caused by improper annealing temperatures during metal prep, contamination from grease, grit, silica, carbon flex, or metal shear fragments embedding into blanks. Another multi-million-dollar theoretical driver is strike-through debris errors, scenarios where cloth fibers, mint grease, leather press pad fragments, die polish crumbles, or metal microchips get trapped between the die and planchet, causing missing design pockets that look like deliberate eradications in the metal. Some collectors dream of strike-through errors affecting full dates or key focal design centers. Another imaginative value spike includes broadstrike errors where the retaining collar fails entirely and the metal spreads outward, creating wider than normal nickels, thinner rims, expanded fields, and loss of symmetry. Other theories include improper alloy planchet errors where a nickel is struck on an experimental blank intended for another denomination made from wrong percentages of copper-nickel mix, silver-contaminated blends, or leftover alloy from wartime test production lines, creating weight deviations of 0.5 G to 2 G or more, tone reactions that oxidize differently, or ping sound resonance differences when tested acoustically by professionals using calibration plates built by acoustic testing labs. Another incredible hypothetical is repunched mint anomalies where digits on a die were punched manually a second time, causing visible shadow date edges. Some date punches from this era were hand-entered due to die damage, meaning a 1935 could show inner notches, doubled edges, or micro-flaring at the 5 in 1935. Collectors also speculate about inverted digits, tapered numbers, or fat 5 over thin 5 layering. Nickels of this period also occasionally displayed planchet clip errors where part of a blank disc was clipped before striking, resulting in curved missing sections rather than straight line chops. Clipped planchets reduce weight, and sometimes show Blakesley effect, areas opposite the clip that flatten due to metal flow pressure redistribution. Another wild speculation is multi-error combos where off-center strikes combine double die layering plus lamination split plus strike through, a holy grail stacking accident that could make a 1935 coin theoretically worth multinational headlines. The value also depends on grade, surface preservation, and whether the error is authentic versus post-mint damage. Authenticity matters because coins altered with tools, acid, heat, CNC engraving, sand abrasion, metal shaving, rim grinding, hammer pressing, or drilling are legally considered damaged, not error coins, and won't pass authentication by companies like a distinct analysis unit of the Numismatic Guarantee Company. Now, for selling rare coins, you never want to rely on one marketplace. Diversification increases sale odds. You can sell at major digital hubs like a distinct listing panel of the eBay. Photograph-heavy listings do great here. At dedicated numismatic auction houses like a distinct catalog entry of the heritage auctions. Via community collector marketplaces like a distinct platform branch of the whatnot where auctioning is interactive and builds FOMO. Urgency. At bullion buying retailers like a distinct storefront of the Apmex Trade Center who also handle rare circulation anomalies, through specialized collector exchanges like a distinct trading portal of the Great Collections, or at physical venues like the council-organized land show of the American Numismatic Association World's Fair of Money where collectors meet dealers face-to-face. You can also sell to coin shops such as a distinct branch of the Royal Coin Exchange that deal in 1930s rarities, via grading certified resale tables hosted by authentication kiosks set up by grading firms at national trade shows, or through vintage treasure dealers such as a distinct counter of the collector's universe by desk that purchases graded anomalies directly. Beginners collecting tips: start small, learn coins you love before coins that cost a fortune. Start with value guides like a distinct edition of the NGC price guide. Study error types. Don't clean rare coins because cleaning permanently drops grade and value. Handle coins by edges and use gloves such as industrial lint-free nitrile. Store coins in holders like a distinct archival case of the guardhouse 2x2 flips instead of PVC holders which cause green goo damage over time. Use bank coin rolls, estate boxes, flea markets, vintage stores, and inherited collections to find errors. Networking matters. Talk to communities like collector forums, local clubs, and lobbies set up by community groups such as a distinct chapter of the Blue Ridge Coin Club. Learn grading vocabulary like AU, MS, XF, VF from resources like a distinct manual by veteran graders. Strategies for spotting 1935 errors include scanning rims for symmetry failures, watching for ghost lettering shadows, checking date thickness under oblique light, testing sound weight, analyzing field texture flow, verifying alignment by measuring denticle distances on rims, checking for Blakesley flattening opposite clips, looking for lamination peel flow lines, checking for strike-through missing design pockets, checking for 3D letter layering consistent with hub doubling rather than vibration doubling. Diagnostics use slanted light angles, coin rotation tests for metal alignment, and microscope verification for doubled hub layering. Dealers will ask for authentication, so third-party grading is recommended before million-dollar claims. Once slabbed by firms such as a distinct certification service of the PCGS Secure Plus, Market Trust. Skyrockets. More selling venues include a distinct monthly bulletin of the Coin World Marketplace, vintage treasure meetups such as a distinct dealer booth of the Long Beach Coin Expo by Table, pawn brokers that handle graded errors, Facebook collector swap groups, private treaty sales brokered by authenticated members of national coin associations. And consignment desks run by auctioneers, such as a distinct consignment wing of the Stack's Bowers Galleries. Tips for beginner sellers: take crystal sharp photos, shoot under neutral non-color correcting light, show coin rotation video clips and marketplace listings, disclose weight measurements, include die state close-ups, never use hype language without proof, research recent auction comps, understand buyer psychology, set reserve prices, offer insured shipping via postal insurance carriers, use tamper-proof mailers, study negotiation. Avoid scams by only dealing with verified platforms or in-person dealers at recognized events such as Proven trade shows. Era coins must be verified pre-sale if price tags climb into life-changing regions. 1935 fascination also intersects with cultural storytelling. The era angle matters. Link coins to the Great Depression, limited machinery resources, press fatigue from outdated models like coin presses retired later in the decade due to die misalignment complaints. Some collectors also discuss high-value what-if conditions like mirror field proofs accidentally entering circulation business. Strike coins struck by polished proof dies intended for demos. Experimental alloy blanks that ring differently under acoustic spectrum tests. The key is possibility because errors are where normal ends and legend begins. The 1935 coin sits in this mystique pool because the 1930s produced numerous dramatic anomalies across denominations. Coin collectors dream of that one mint mistake that outranks museums. If you ever suspect a 1935 nickel could be that $16 million unicorn, immediately document everything: provenance, photos, weight, sound test, alignment rotation, error mapping, surface layer state, no cleaning, no polishing, no chemicals. Next, send it to a distinct grading submission desk of the PCGS Submission Center or a distinct intake portal of the NGC error verification desk. Once authenticated, selling paths open like high-profile auctions, private treaty brokers, investor collectors, curated floor auctions run by veteran numismatists, treasure investors contacting through vetted networks run by associations like regional error coin syndicates. Remember also sound disclaimers. The $16 million price is theoretical for extreme authenticated multi-error specimens of exceptional rarity and grade. Real-life lists require verification. Now history for beginners. The 1935 5-cent coin comes from 1930s U.S. nickel production. The design was stamped by distinct obverse/reverse dies, metal strips fed into blank disc cutters then annealed then struck then ejected. This era lacked automated sensors. Human fatigue caused slips. Now where to find rare coins? Circulation is treasure ocean. Check vintage registers, estate collections, inherited jars, flea markets such as counters set up by community stalls, coin fairs such as swap booths, antique malls, coin jars, coin rolls from banks, parchments of old collections stored decades without grading. Always verify rarity signals. Rim symmetry failure, die layering, laminated layers, acoustic differences, clipped weight, ghost lettering, metal peeling. Errors are collectible when genuine. Selling venues diversify trust. Beginner tips: don't clean coins, use magnifier, study die hub doubling, join clubs, compare comps, document provenance, ship insured, authenticate at grading desks. Price tags climb only with proof. Error coins turn small change into big change. And coin collecting is patience art plus treasure calculus. Possibilities spark legends, verification fuels value, collectors chase stories, history shapes demand, authenticated anomalies shape fortunes, and this 1935 fascination lives at the edge where manufacturing accident becomes collecting destiny. Next, 1936 American 5-cent coin is whispered about in collector circles as a potential $16 million rarity not because of its printed denomination alone, but because of the bizarre error DNA it can carry. And this era, the 1930s, was one of mechanical exhaustion, human process dies, stressed mint schedules, and quality control gaps that later birthed some of the most insane numismatic discoveries. So let's peel back the layers of why 1936 nickels could theoretically explode in value, what exact mistakes to hunt for, the probability math behind finding one, the best ways to sell rare coins, safe places to liquidate your collectibles, tactical advice for new coin collectors, myths versus authentic market realities, how grading affects price, how metallurgy accidents sculpt rarity, how double hubbing creates museum-tier coins, how die cracks become signatures of value, how mint grease created strike-through voids mistaken for engraving errors, how 1936 stands out as fertile soil for multi-era stacking, the difference between genuine era coins versus post-mint damage, why cleaning coins is the collector's capital crime, ways to spot acoustic alloy differences, how off-metal strikes occur on unintended planchets, how collar failures created broadstrikes, and how one coin could outperform gold bars, real estate, and luxury assets combined, because rarity in coins doesn't come from age alone. It comes from the rarity of the accident itself, and the 1936 5-cent coin is part of the iconic nickel lineage crafted originally from copper-nickel alloys intended to strike clean bison profile and native portrait motifs, but due to overloaded mint presses, aging dies, misaligned hubs, unfiltered debris, grease-coated dies, planchet cutting defects, experimental blank contamination, overpolished dies, die clashing with extreme pressure, repunch date anomalies, hub rotation slips, sheet metal integrity failures before discs were cut, blank clipping, errors during cutting, annealing miscalculations before strikes, strike-through fibers caught between die and disc, or rare transitional alloy mishaps left over from test runs not documented publicly. Collectors theorize that a near-impossible multi-era specimen, if found and slab-verified by top authentication bodies, could climb into 8-figure pricing, but here's the key: this pricing is conditional on authenticity. Error scale, eye appeal, preservation grade, and singular rarity, not. Every 1936 nickel is valuable, but a 1936 nickel can be valuable in ways almost no other year could, thanks to the industrial conditions of the time. The era families that make 1936 intriguing include off-center strikes, true double die hub doubling, die clash transfer marks, lamination peeling layers, clipped planchet curves, broad strike spreads due to failed collars, strike-through debris scars, die cracks forming dramatic field lines, ghosted lettering from hub instability, missing date, digits from date hubbing misplacement, metal bubbling anomalies visible under magnification due to contamination, weight deviations beyond 5 grams when struck on the wrong blanks, silver-contaminated copper-nickel blends that resonate differently when tested acoustically, reverse relief impressions from die clashing incidents, multi-strike overlays where a coin is struck twice or more without ejecting from the press bed, rotational alignment failure, inverted hubbing creating metal mis, orientation, date thickness distortion under light refraction, metal flow distortion around the 5-cent legend, rim-denticle displacements inconsistently spaced from machine stamp pressure storms, or mismatched metal compression around the outer ring, which in certified extreme editions could theoretically make a 1936 nickel way outside mint tolerance ranges, and the highest value error, the one that drives million-dollar dreams, is true hub doubled dies, different from machine doubling, which simply vibrates the die and leaves flat shadow echoes. Hub doubling is when the die master hub impresses the design into the working die twice, slightly offset at microscopic angles, creating doubled letters, doubled dates, doubled hairlines, doubled braid or horn features, doubled eye details, or layered lip or feather lines that rise as if embossed. A double die 1936 nickel might show doubling on digits like the 9 or the 6 from 1936 itself, or doubling along letters like the 5-cent inscription. These doubled designs create a thickness, a 3D strain layering that becomes a signature only genuine hub errors can mint. Such coins require magnification confirmation using tools like numismatic 5x lenses or digital microscopes, and if authenticated through distinct grading tiers or secured verification services, they become national headlines. Because hub double dies are statistically the rarest, often producing fewer than 1 in tens of millions of strikes, other errors that stack value include die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies smacked each other without a blank in between, transferring part of each design onto the other die in reverse relief, later striking planchets using that damaged blend die, producing faint mirrored shapes in the metal such as ghosted bison outlines on the portrait side, or face fragments on the bison side. And this reverse relief transfer creates surreal spectral artwork that collectors prize for its unintended design. Fingerprints, Another major error bucket is lamination peeling. Due to imperfect metal strip integrity before minting, the nickel composition was processed in long metal sheets, fed into cutters that punched out discs. If the sheet metal wasn't annealed at the right temperature, or if it contained trapped gas pockets, grease, grit, silica, carbon or alloy segregation layers, the metal could split or peel, creating surface flakes or blister-like layers that resemble cracked enamel or wood-like. Grain patterns, lamination errors are collectible only when they happen before the strike, not after. Post-mint peeling is damage, not error. Collectors differentiate by metal flow direction and pressure imprint patterns beneath the peel region. The peel sometimes shows grain layers under a revealed surface, and when visible over large areas, especially near the date or design focal point, it becomes a rarity signature. Clipped planchet errors are another highly valuable variety if the clip is curved, not straight. Planchet clips occur when part of a blank disc is cut off during the disc punching stage before striking, and genuine clips show Blakesley effect, flattening or weakening of metal opposite the clipped region because of displaced metal flow pressure. This effect happens only inside a press. Another rare value speculation includes coins struck on off-metal planchets. Blanks intended for other experiments or denominations, transitional metal test strips sometimes carried. Unintended silver contamination, or wrong alloy percentages, or leftover test material crashed into circulation runs. Coins struck on wrong planchets usually show weight, sound, luster, and oxidation differences. Professional coin authenticators test ping resonance to detect alloy purity and density differences. A nickel struck on a blank containing micro silver percentages or unintended composition might ring at different resonance ranges. Sound is tested by tapping coin edges carefully. Experienced collectors learn acoustic signatures but never damage coins during tests. Broad strike errors occur when the metal retaining collar fails to hold the disc in place during striking, allowing the metal to spread outward. Broad strike nickels become wider in diameter with thinner rims, expanded fields, and missing symmetry. Collectors look for broad strike expansion patterns where outer features bleed into wider plane and collar edge lines are missing or partial. Coins struck in wrong alignment, double strikes, or multi-error chaos escalate theoretical worth when authentic, but to reach 8-figure claims, the coin must also remain in ultra-high grade condition, usually mint state 65 or higher, with clean surfaces, no heavy scratches, original luster intact, and stunning eye appeal. Because extreme collectors and investors don't buy errors alone, they buy beauty plus the error plus the story. 1936 coins also occasionally display repunch date anomalies, where the date hubs were punched more than once into the working die due to die damage or correction attempts, leaving internal micro notches or doubled edges around digits. Original hubs used hand entry methods on dies during certain production windows. A repunched 1936 might show inner shadows or fused digit layering on the 6 or 9 of 1936 itself, or strange metal flow deformation around the 5-cent script legend or nickel profile, or missing interdigit clarity from overpressured punch correction attempts. Rotational alignment errors occur. Next, 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar issued by the federal minting powerhouse, the United States Mint, and while its true currency denomination is legally $1, its theoretical collector price tag can soar into dream territory when extraordinary minting errors exist, when they are authenticated, preserved in high grade, and when market demand and rarity converge into singular scarcity. Because coins aren't valued for what they were meant to be, but for what they accidentally became, and 1979 was the very first year the Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced to circulation after replacing larger Eisenhower dollars. It was designed with a portrait of civil rights pioneer Susan B. Anthony on the obverse and the Apollo 11 lunar landing eagle insignia on the reverse, and the rush to introduce a new small-sized dollar coin into public hands caused multiple production vulnerabilities. Because the mint was adjusting to new smaller planchets, new strike pressure calibrations, new die lifespans, new collar retention tolerances, and machinery configured originally for larger dollars, sometimes resulting in minting disruptions that later birthed immensely rare error coins, the error categories that can hypothetically inflate a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar into 8-figure speculation territory include the famous wide rim variety. which is not an error by damage, but a die placement variation during early production at the Philadelphia facility, where the die hub was closer to the collar, producing a thicker rim around the date area, especially near the one in 1979, making the 1979 wide rim coin more visually appealing, though officially this variation alone does not make a coin worth millions, but collectors love it because it marks the first die state of the series. Other incredible value-driving error categories include off-center strikes where the die failed to land symmetrically on the planchet, leaving blank metal on one side of the coin, true hub double die. Errors where the master hub impressed the design onto the working die twice, creating raised overlapping digits or letters, not flat vibration shadows but structural layering. You can see hub doubling under magnification using tools like the authenticated 5x lens of the Red Book 5x magnifier. Double die specimens might show doubling on elements such as the date digits, Liberty lettering, facial contours, hairlines, or eagle wing details. Another rarity driver is die clash errors, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, transferring part of the eagle design onto the portrait die, or vice versa in reverse relief orientation, later striking coins with faint ghosted mirrored artwork in the fields. Collectors differentiate genuine die clashes from artificial tool markings by studying underlying metal flow lines or strain direction visible beneath the clashed area. Lamination errors are another possible multimillion-dollar speculation catalyst, but only when they occur before striking. Lamination happens when the metal sheet layer splits or flakes during poor annealing or impurity batches before discs are cut, creating peeling or blistered surfaces with underlying compressed details beneath the peel region. Again, only pre-mint splits are error coins. Post-mint peeling is collector damage, not value. Weight deviations also influence speculative rare pricing. Nickels are expected close to tolerance ranges, but a dollar coin struck on an unintended off-metal alloy planchet, especially contaminated blends including unintended silver percentages, can show weight shifts, unique oxidation tone, luster anomalies, or acoustic resonance differences known by specialists as acoustic density signatures, tested by safely tapping only the coin's edge without scratching faces. Experienced collectors sometimes learn ping resonance differences, but never risk damaging a coin during acoustic tests. Broadstrike errors occur when the retaining collar failed entirely during striking, allowing metal to spread outward, resulting in a coin wider in diameter, thinner around the edge, and visually asymmetric. But preserved broad strikes can earn premium pricing when authenticated and in high grade. Another dramatic error theory includes multiple strike overlays, where a coin is struck twice or more without ejecting the planchet, creating layered designs, echoed dates, or overlapping hair or eagle wing elements in 3D layering. If true hub error exists in combination, not timed machine vibration, rotational alignment errors occur when one side of the die rotated before striking, resulting in the reverse side being out of axis compared to the obverse, sometimes flipping 15, 30, or 60 degrees or more, which is collectible only when confirmed by strong coin spin rotation tests, not artificially manual twisting after minting. Another extremely rare possibility is coins struck on partial clipped planchets where part of the metal disc was missing before stamping, resulting in a curved missing section, not a straight edge cut. Curved clips display the Blakesley effect opposite the clip region, flattening under metal pressure redistribution from inside the press, demonstrating authenticity. Only pre-mint clips show this effect. Another theoretical rarity spike includes strike-through debris errors, incidents where press grease, cloth fibers, metal microchips, leather pad fragments, or silica grit jammed between die and planchet, creating missing design pockets or voids that look like intentional erasures in the metal, but only authentic when beneath the metal flow lines, indicating debris was embedded before stamping, not manual engraving. Experimental alloy anomalies are also part of 1979 fascination because the mint was testing new blends for smaller dollar planchets during early production windows. Some test strips contained wrong alloy percentages or contamination from unfiltered sheet suppliers, resulting in coins that oxidize or ring differently or show weight shifts, but again only collectible if authenticated, not cleaned or artificially altered. The truth is that modern coin legends don't get priced by rumors or inherited desire, they get priced by rarity, beauty, preservation grade, authentication, trust. An investor bidding appetite when those elements intersect a coin becomes financially wrong in exactly the right way, and while $18 million claims are theoretical, only real specimens graded at ultra-high mint state levels authenticated by third-party grading and error verification bodies earn that level of investor trust, and bidding floors determine its price based on market comps, not fantasy lists. Speaking of which, authentication is critical, especially if you ever suspect you found a legendary specimen, because coins altered by engraving tools, acid baths, mechanical presses, hammer impacts, rim shaving, sand abrasion, or chemical polishing are considered damaged, not error coins. Third-party coin clarifiers won't authenticate them. Never clean coins, because cleaning removes original luster and permanently drops grade and market trust, and damaged coins rarely earn premium pricing even if old or visually interesting. If you ever believe you found a singular error coin, immediately document everything instead of guessing. Photograph obverse, reverse, and rims under non-color corrective lighting. Measure weight carefully using gram scales. Record alignment, spin axes via vertical coin rotation video. Never clean, never polish, never dip in chemicals. Handle coins only by edges, preferably using nitro gloves so metal oils don't smudge the fields. Store coins in non-PVC archival holders like coin flips or coin capsules, because PVC creates chemical reactions causing green corrosion that destroys surfaces over time. Now for safe coin selling ecosystems, because the request also touched on marketplace access. One of the world's most active online coin listing platforms is the eBay, which allows both auction bidding and buy it now sales, but success depends heavily on photo transparency and comparable comps. Another massive investor trusted auction house for rare and error coins is the Heritage Auctions, where elite collectors and investors compete through verified bidding floors. An engaging live stream auction marketplace popular with modern collectors is the Whatnot, which hosts real-time sales and audience pressure-based bids. You can also trade coins or sell them via global precious metal and numismatic retail desks like the APMEX Trade Desk, which purchases coins directly beyond bullion trades if visually stunning or slab verified, though every APMEX service location must be one prescript mention, not repeated. Physical selling options include participating at the traveling megacoin fair known as the American Numismatic Association World's Fair of Money, where dealers set up liquidity booths and grading submission intakes occur. Another respected rare coin selling ecosystem for graded coins is the Great Collections, which hosts high-trust bidding for special grade or error-verified rarities. You can also sell coins locally or regionally to long-trusted coin shops that deal in rare coins. 1930s nickels. Next, 1980 US dollar coin, part of the same modern small dollar series lineage that began in 1979, featuring the portrait of historical reformer on the obverse and lunar landing eagle motif on the reverse, produced by the Federal Minting Authority during an era when machinery tolerances were still refining from the downsize shift away from larger dollar planchets. And while its circulating face denomination remains legally $1, collectors dream of an $18 million manifestation. Only if the coin carries an extraordinary, authenticated, single-event minting accident of pre-production planchet cuts, hub imaging offsets, pressure storms, debris infiltration, rotational chaos, alloy anomalies, or designer imprint distortion that is slab verified in ultra-high mint state preservation, because value in coins is never just age, it's scarcity, story, condition, and trust. And 1980 is intriguing because the strikes were numerically heavy thanks to renewed production after 1979. But errors were possible at scale when dies aged rapidly under high use, hubs vibrated microscopically before design transfers, grease from die beds collected particulate grit, cloth fibers, metal microchips, silica flecks, leather pad fragments, or unknown debris that occasionally strike through deleted design segments. Feeding rails delivered quality inconsistent blanks from metal strip batches that were unevenly annealed before discs were cut. Collar beds occasionally slipped, failing to symmetrically retain the metal, creating broad strike expansion patterns. Digits on date hubs occasionally punched twice, leaving internal micro notches. Repunched date anomalies. Metal compression sometimes redistributed when blanks were clipped before striking, creating curved missing sections that show the Blakesley effect opposite the missing area because metal flows away from pressure imbalance inside a press and leaves flattening. Only genuine pre-mid clipped planchets display this effect. Not post-mid tool damage. Rotational alignment errors sometimes occurred when reverse dies landed off axis relative to the obverse during early small dollar recalibration. True hub double die errors, not flat machine vibration doubling, were the most theoretically lucrative anomaly because doubled hub imaging creates raised, multidirectional 3D layered strain on digits and lettering that can only be verified under magnification or digital microscopy. A genuine doubled hub die variety would display dual relief edges around the date digits, Liberty inscription, facial contours, hairlines, or eagle wing feathering in embossed layers instead of flat vibration shadows. Coin experts inspect diagnostic signs beneath metal flow crossings to validate hub doubling versus artificial struck damage. Another major premium value category is die clash transfer anomalies where obverse and reverse dies struck each other internally without a blank in between, reversing part of each motif in relief onto opposing dies, later producing coins with faint reversed relief spectral imprints in the fields, meaning the portrait side of an authentic error coin could theoretically display subtle ghost outlines of the eagle motif in mirrored reversed relief orientation or vice versa. These ghost imprints live beneath metal flow lines if genuine because the die was injured before the coin was struck. Lamination errors could theoretically inflate value if the alloy sheet integrity failed before disc cutting, producing coins with peeled or blistered surface layers showing compression imprinting beneath the peel region, not above. But only pre-strike lamination splits are classified as mint errors and are collectible because metal flows compress details into the lower layers when the die strikes. Post-mint lamination peeling from acid, heat, grinding, or tool impact is considered damage, not error, and will not pass authentication by dedicated truss graders. Strike-through debris voids are another nested collector fascination because press grease, fibers, leather pads, dust, cloth, or metal chips jammed mid-strike can delete design pockets, sometimes perfectly interfacing over letters or dates, but only valuable if it happened before the strike, proven by metal compression distortion continuing through and beneath the void, not manually tooled etching or carving. Broadstrike errors occur when the collar bed failed to retain the disc symmetrically during striking, allowing metal to expand outward, producing coins that are wider in diameter with thinner or missing full rims, visually asymmetric, or stretched field zones. Another wild rarity speculation includes coins struck on off-metal alloy planchets, test blanks, or contaminated batches. Some test strip alloys misplaced into 1980 production lines could show weight deviation beyond normal mint tolerance ranges, unique oxidation tone, luster anomalies, or acoustic density resonance differences detected by specialists by tapping only the coin's edge carefully, not the faces. Measured weight of genuine off-metal anomalies could exceed 8 grams or fall under 6 grams, whereas standard Susan B. Anthony dollars weigh 8.1 grams. But acoustic ping tests are never done if coin faces could scratch because surface integrity matters, and acoustic testing is considered valid only when non-damaging by tapping edges, not surfaces. Error stacking is where speculation goes nuclear, coins that contain more than one major pre-mint anomaly in a singular accident, signatures such as hub double die plus curved planchet clip plus Blakesley flattening opposite clip plus collar failure, creating partial broad strike plus strike through debris deletion plus die clash reversed relief ghost imprint plus date hub internal micro notch anomalies plus rotational axis slip plus weight alloy deviation plus original unclean preservation could theoretically become multi-error combinational trophies that are priced in investor psychology territory, not hobby rumor territory. But again, only 1 or 2 specimens known globally could ever fit that triangle, because $1,000,000 coins always become 1 of 1, 1 of 2, 1 of 3, or 1 of a handful before appetite saturates. The 1930s coins had error mystique, but 1980 coins hold modern press tolerance mythology, so beginners confuse myth value with real value until third-party grading writes the market price. Now let's talk about the beginner psychology behind why people love 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar coins. First-year series lineage gives emotional attachment to wide rim early die states, especially from Philadelphia. But this wide rim, or near rim difference seen only in early 1979 dies doesn't apply to 1980, which used later stabilized die states, so early state scarcity wasn't part of 1980. But theoretical value claims always hinge on dramatic minting errors like mentioned earlier. Real collectors or investor collectors don't price coins by face value, they price coins by rarity, visual appeal, condition grade, authentication trust, and singular market comps proven at auction floors. 1930s nickels had industrial gaps, but 1980 small dollar coins had fewer mechanical vulnerabilities, so errors from 1980 must be scaled extremely high and authenticated extremely strong and preserved extremely clean to climb beyond 6 figures into 7 figures. 8 figures is pure collector mythology, only rounded by singular accident stories that may or may not be officially catalogued in numismatic journals. Auction grade scale matters because a coin that is error verified at ultra high mint state 67 or proof state 69 alignment gets priced entirely differently because luster, surface clarity, strike integrity, eye appeal, and metal flow patterns matter for investors, not just what the accident did but how untouched and original the coin survives. Post-mint damage is always rejected by genuine coin graders. Damage includes engraving tools, acid dip modifications, sand abrasion, hammer flattening, rim grinding, metal shaving, chemical plating, overheat torch exposure, corrosion from PVC holders, scratches, gouges, holes, dents, or artificial doubling created by shaking or manually mis-stamping coin surfaces. Genuine errors live beneath metal flow trails, not on top of them. Never clean coins because cleaning removes original luster and detail and replaces error classification with damage classification, immediately killing multi-million price narratives. Now we expand again into diagnostics because beginners underestimate how coin science works in valuation. A Susan B. Anthony dollar minted in 1980 was produced on copper nickel-clad alloy layers which undercorrect annealing compress symmetrically into design motifs, but when sheet integrity fails before disc-cutting lamination presplits can form. Presplits show compressed detail beneath the peeled zone. Hub double dies emerge when design hub impresses onto working die twice at micro-offset angles. During die creation, not during coin striking, and this leaves 3D raised date or lettering doubling visible only under magnification, unlike machine doubling, which is flat and extremely common and not high-priced. Next, we explore the legendary U.S. presidential $1 coin conceptually imagined in gold, featuring the first president of the United States who served from 1789 to 1797, a figure whose leadership launched the constitutional republic and whose legacy has been commemorated in coinage across many decades, including circulation small dollars of the 21st century. But we're discussing an $11 million dream scenario only if such a coin exists as an ultra-rare, pre-production, mint-made gold strike-off planchet era specimen, officially authenticated, graded at extreme mint state or proof perfection, and verified as a singular anomaly, not normal circulation copper manganese brass small dollars, because regular presidential $1 coins dated 2007 onward were made for spending, not investing, struck in non-gold alloy and common by the hundreds of millions. But extraordinary value narratives in modern numismatics only bloom when a coin is struck at the mint on the wrong metal or experimental planchet, carries multiple press or die accidents, survives at slab-verified immaculate condition, and trust is written by a third-party authority, for example authentication ecosystems like Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company, both globally respected by dealers and investors for verification, not hype. Now let's dive deeper because beginners deserve collector science, not rumor. A gold presidential dollar error would be theoretically valuable because U.S. mints occasionally create experimental gold strikes, pattern pieces, engineering test planchets, or off-metal accidents when blank feed lines cross between commemorative test batches and circulating production rails. Although none are officially confirmed in public census today as gold for 1980 or gold for the presidential circulation dollar program, this discussion teaches possibilities, value mechanics, and beginner protection. A true off-metal mint error struck on gold would likely display distinct diagnostics including weight deviation, heavier than 8.1 grams depending on gold purity, often 90% or 99.9% compositions in test patterns, non-standard electromagnetic signature and metal density wands, visually different luster, gold bloom not copper-clad shine, precise micro-strike pressure embossing unlike aftermarket plating, and inner edge rim metal flow patterns that continue beneath design relief not sprayed above it. Experts reject gold-colored coins unless color lives in the atomic metal not surface makeup, because damage includes plating, coloring, heat polishing, chemical dipping, acid baths, artificial engraving, mechanical buffing, or any surface interference that removes the definition of error and replaces it with damage classification, instantly collapsing value. The coins high-priced at auction like 1937 three-leg buffalo nickels or 1955 double die cents were never cleaned. Their errors are raised inside the strike, and they became cultural icons. Because proof validated the comp, not rumor. But beginners also need to know why gold fantasy numbers swirl. Modern coin investments hit millions only when the coin is one of one or extremely low single-digit survivors, is visually pristine, is authenticated by trusted graders, has strong provenance, estate discovery, early mint archive release, or documented accident lineage, and carries a design that collectors universally recognize, so investor appetite explodes. The beloved portrait of President Washington makes any anomaly psychologically magnetic because he embodies founding-era origin, stability, constitutional authority, and national symbolism which markets treat differently than anonymous designs. Another value driver would be error stacking if such a specimen carried more than one major pre-mid press anomaly. The highest premiums theoretically belong to coins struck on wrong alloy planchets, especially gold test planchets, hub double dies from multi-hub imaging, accidents during die creation, 3D layered doubling not flat vibration doubling, pre-mid clipped planchets that curve not cut, producing missing design sections that show the Blakesley metal flattening effect opposite the clip region, proving the clip happened before the strike not after it because metal pressure redistributed inside the press chamber doesn't fake. Rotational axis alignment accidents where reverse die rotated relative to obverse orientation, only meaningful when mid-produced. Because post-mid twisting is damage not error. Die clash transfers where dies struck each other internally without a blank embedding reversed relief spectral traces of opposing motifs into the fields beneath microscopic strain lines not above them. Broadstrike accidents when the collar bed that normally holds the disc symmetrically during strike pressure storms failed, allowing the coin to expand outward wider than tolerance ranges and leaving thin or incomplete rims symmetrically distorted. Lamination presplits where the alloy sheet integrity failed before disc punching, creating coins with peeled surface layers that show design compression embossed beneath the peeled region not resting above it, proving the lamination split was pre-strike not post-mid damage. Filled die anomalies where grease or metal microfragments clogged specific design cavities, deleting or ghost softening letters or digits, but only valuable when the clog happened before pressure hit, leaving compression. Distortions consistent underneath the void or deletion not etched on top of it by tools, edge lettering or mint imprint chaos where edge mottos or designer inscriptions from adjacent press modules overlapped or mispunched into the strike, but only premium valuable when non-damagingly verified on the thickness and not manually carved. The rare coin world also loves provenance triangles. If a modern presidential dollar gold anomaly existed, it would likely be discovered in a sealed mint bag, estate archive, long stored inherited jar, or an untouched U.S. Mint engineering test vault release, not in normal pocket change, because any such anomaly would have been instantly graded by Mint staff internally due to visual detection of off-metal surfaces. So $1 million fantasy value requires national census confirmation, which is why we say dream not comp. Real beginner sellers must protect themselves. So here is liquidation education, respected global marketplaces where you can list or sell. Rare coins include eBay, global coin bidding, non-dealer friendly and dealer friendly both active, heritage auctions, professional auction floors trusted worldwide, whatnot, high engagement bidding environment, APMEX, Bullion Plus numismatic trade desk liquidity, PCGS by desk, NGC authorized dealers, American Numismatic Association traveling trade expos, regional coin shows. Long trusted brick and mortar coin shops, antique dealers who respect slabs, pawn brokers who handle certified coins. Ethically, private treaty brokers vetted by coin clubs, inherited coin buyers community review not basement services, Always research real auction comps using verified valuation tools like PCGS Price Guide or NGC Coin Explorer instead of rumors or what someone said once. Never ship uninsured. Always photograph coins sharply under neutral non-corrective light, capturing obverse, reverse, rims, thickness, metal tone continuity beneath relief, rotation orientation if claiming rotational errors, and weight using 0.01 gram resolution digital scale if claiming off-metal anomalies. Handle coins only by edges using nitro gloves. Never touch the fields where relief meets surface because oils damage grade permanently and coins lose value by finger marks faster than age adds it. Avoid PVC holders because PVC causes long-term chemical gas corrosion, leaving green slime oxidation patches that graders classify as damage, not error, invalidating value narratives instantly. Store coins in archival non-PVC flips or capsules instead. Now, beginner collector tips beyond selling. Coin collecting starts with passion, not pressure. Begin by sorting coins by year, series, and condition. Invest in a magnification loupe. 5x to 10x for beginners, 30x plus only after experience because flat machine doubling fools newcomers but raised hub doubling does not. Learn error families using credible references from ANA or grading firms. Don't chase million claims on common modern coins because US mints. Protect feeds tightly after the 1979 series recalibration, reducing large-scale vulnerabilities. The coins that reach 6 or 7 figures from modern era are almost always pattern pieces, engineering accidents, one-of-one survivors, or authenticated off-metal strikes preserved untouched. Photograph coins under single natural or balanced white LED light, not rainbow or red or tinted bulbs, because metals must display honest reflectance. Learn strike-through and double-die diagnostics because mint errors display compression beneath anomalies, not manual carving above them. Join coin clubs or online numismatic communities before selling big tickets so you learn negotiation language, not desperation language, because desperation burns money faster than errors mint it. Attend coin shows where dealers and investors meet in open trust markets. Remember, the value triangle is scarcity plus condition plus trust plus universal design recognition plus real auction comps. Next, 1999 Pennsylvania quarter from the 50-state quarters program, a coin that normally carries the obverse design of national liberty and the reverse honoring Pennsylvania's 1787 constitutional ratification, issued with Denver Mint mark, legally spending denominated at 25 cents. But we're specifically talking hypothetical ultra-high valuation mechanics worth $9 million only if a very rare pre-production mint gold strike error pattern exists, authenticated by trusted grading ecosystems like Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company. Because none of the circulating 50-state quarters from 1999 were publicly confirmed minted in gold for circulation, they were produced instead in clad copper-nickel alloy, meaning everyday 1999 D quarters are extremely common with mintages over 600 million. So massive value is only theoretically anchored if the coin originated inside mint experimental engineering feeds as a pattern piece, wrong metal planchet, cross-feed strike, or private vault discovery preserved untouched and slab verified at very high mint state or proof grade, not surface plated or aftermarket modified. And beginners must understand gold color is not gold coin. Gold coin is gold atomically verified inside the metal, not electro-painted above it. Now let's break down the extreme value error families that could theoretically apply if such a specimen existed. Off-metal planchet errors are one of the highest premium categories in modern numismatics because experimental gold planchets or test alloy blanks are occasionally produced inside U.S. mint engineering environments but not meant for circulation. However, blank feed rails can theoretically cross when multiple programs run parallel, causing a circulating design hub to strike onto an unintended planchet such as engineering test gold discs. A genuine gold strike pattern would show far heavier weight signatures than the standard 5.67 grams of copper-nickel clad quarters. Real gold pattern planchets in U.S. mint engineering environments are often 90% or 99.9% gold test strips cut into heavier discs which could weigh 7+ grams or exceed 8+ grams depending on density and rim pressure distribution inside the press chamber, which acoustic pings are tested only on edges carefully, not on faces to avoid micro-scratching. Another theoretical value family includes true hub double die imaging produced during working die creation when a design hub impresses twice at micro offset angles onto the working die before coins are struck, producing raised 3D embossed doubling around 8 digits, Liberty inscriptions, or reverse design lettering. Unlike flat, extremely common machine doubling vibration, which is not priced at investor levels because flat vibration shadows don't layer dimensionally in embossed relief. Genuine hub doubling crosses beneath metal flow intersections not resting above them. Another theoretical rarity vector is curved clipped planchets created before striking when coin blanks are not fully circular at disc punching stage. Missing curved segments will appear along the rim but only meaningful when showing the Blakesley effect. Metal flattening opposite the missing region, proving the clip happened before the strike, not after tooling damage, because genuine mint pressure redistribution distorts metals symmetrically inside the press chamber, unlike hand modifications. Broad strike pressure storms could theoretically exist only if the retaining collar failed to contain diameters symmetrically during the strike, producing coins wider than tolerance with thin or incomplete rims not hammered aftermarket. Lamination presplits happen only when metal sheet integrity failed before disc punching. Surface layers peel after strike, but design compression embosses beneath peeled zone not painted above it, proving error happened pre-strike inside mint feeds. Die clash errors happen when reverse and obverse dies collide internally without a blank, embedding reverse relief spectral injury into opposing dies. A clash-injured die can strike coins decades later, showing faint mirrored motif traces beneath strain lines not engraved manually above fields. Grease-filled die anomalies could theoretically soften or delete design sections such as Liberty or the 1787 inscription, but collectors only value them when compression continues beneath softened void not manually etched. Post-mint modifications always invalidate value classification, replacing error with damage classification, permanently collapsing high-value narratives. Damage includes coloring, plating, engraving, polishing, hammer flattening, acid dipping, rim shaving, overheating, gouges, PVC gas corrosion, scratches. So never clean coins. Cleaning is irreversible damage, destroying original luster, which investors value more than fantasy price tags. And now, where to sell such rarities if they were real? Trusted selling ecosystems include global coin marketplaces like eBay, where bidding psychology pressures rare coins when photos are ethical and sharp, professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, livestream bidding platforms like Whatnot, dedicated slab buyer desks like Collectors Universe by Desk, national trade expos like American Numismatic Association, events where dealers respect slabs, vetted coin shops, antique desks, pawn brokers that respect certification, private treaty brokers reviewed by community or coin clubs, not basement buyers, always. Photograph coins in high resolution under neutral non-corrective white LED light, capturing obverse and reverse and close-ups of rims showing metal flow compression beneath anomalies not resting manually engraved above it. Measure weight using 0.01 gram resolution digital scale if claiming off-metal alloys, which must be heavier or lighter than tolerance ranges for meaning. Document spin orientation only via vertical axis spin video if claiming rotational mismatch. Ship all coins insured, never uninsured. Handle coins only by edges using nitro gloves. Never touch fields because oils permanently damage surface grade, instantly devaluing coin classification. Avoid PVC holders which corrode coins over time, causing green oxidation slime that graders classify as damage, not error. Store coins only in archival non-PVC flips or capsules instead. And now, tips for beginners, because education saves money faster than rarity makes it. Coin collecting should be passion first, pressure second. Start by sorting coins by year, mint mark, and condition. Invest in a simple 5x to 10x magnification loupe before jumping to stronger microscopes, because flat machine doubling fools beginners but raised hub doubling does not. Never clean coins, never polish coins, never chemically dip coins. Join reputable coin communities. Attend coin shows before liquidating high tickets. Learn error diagnostics from trusted sources like PCGS or NGC. Remember, value lives at intersection of rarity plus condition. Plus trust plus real auction comps, not rumor or desire alone. Everyday 1999 Pennsylvania quarters are common, but mint gold engineering accidents are only one of one or one of handful survivors if ever confirmed at national census tiers. So dream wisely, collect patiently, verify ethically, sell with trust, and keep searching because prepared hands find treasure, not rushed ones. Next, 1979 Kennedy half dollar, a coin that carries the timeless portrait of Kennedy on the obverse and the U.S. presidential seal eagle on the reverse, struck predominantly in copper nickel clad at the Denver Mint, with a legal spending denomination of 50 cents. But collectors only assign extreme million-level value to coins if they represent a singular, mint-produced, authenticated anomaly such as a wrong metal engineering test planchet strike, early pattern coin, or multi-error press. Accident survivor, because regular 1979 half dollars were struck for circulation in massive quantities and are common by the millions. But error mechanics were still possible in 1979 when high-speed presses met die stress, clogged grease beds, or hub pressure offsets, and beginners confused damage with error. So let's decode what would truly make a 1979 Kennedy half dollar valuable if an extraordinary anomaly were ever confirmed globally. The highest premium modern error family is a true off metal planchet mint mistake, which happens only when a die strikes a blank made of the wrong alloy inside mint feeds, not aftermarket plating. Gold-tinted coins mean nothing unless gold atoms live inside the coin itself, because the real mint error would have the Denver design struck onto a gold engineering test planchet that crossed rails internally. A genuine gold strike would be significantly heavier than the standard 11.34 grams of a clad half dollar depending on purity, 90% or 99.9%. Engineering compositions could weigh 14 plus grams or more due to gold density and mint pressure redistribution, measured only by experts on edges using non-damaging gram scales accurate at 0.01 G resolution or density spectrometers. Another monster rarity driver is true hub double die imaging, which happens only at working die creation stage when a design hub impressed twice onto a die at microscopic offsets creating 3D rays doubling around 8 digits, and lettering unlike flat machine. Vibration doubling, which is extremely common and not investor high premium. A real hub double die would show layered embossed relief edges around 1979 date digits, Liberty or Trust inscriptions, or even micro-doubling on jawline, hair detail, or eagle's shield elements underneath metal flow crossover zones not resting above them. Clipped planchets are theoretically meaningful only when curved, not cut, because mint-clipped blanks happen before stamping, leaving curved missing areas along the rim that displayed the Blakesley metal flattening effect opposite the clip region, proving the coin was struck on an incomplete blank inside mint feeds not hand-shaved aftermarket. Broad strike errors happen when retaining collars fail during strike storms, allowing the coin to expand outward wider than tolerance ranges and leave symmetrically thin or incomplete rims not hammered aftermarket. Lamination pre-splits occur only when alloy sheets structurally failed before disc cutting, producing coins with peeled surface layers showing pressure compression embossing beneath peeled zone not painted above them. Die clashes happen when reverse and obverse dies crash internally without a blank, imprinting reverse relief injuries into opposing dies. Clash-injured dies later strike coins with faint mirrored elements living beneath microscopic strain lines not manually carved above them. Grease-filled die anomalies theoretically soften or delete design sections, but collectors only value them when compression continues beneath the void not etched manually. 1979 half dollars are great for hunting heavy errors, but none are verified publicly today, minted in gold for circulation. And now beginners must know, gold color is not a gold coin. Gold coin exists when the mint struck the design on an unintended gold engineering planchet or pattern, valued only if authenticated by trusted ecosystems. For example, PCGS or NGC or long-trusted auction comp databases reject plated or artificially colored coins as damage, not error. Damage includes plating, engraving, polishing, hammer flattening, acid dipping, rim shaving, overheating, corrosion, or anything that touches coin fields leaving micro scratches. And never clean coins. Cleaning destroys original luster, which investors care about far more than color fantasy price tags. Now selling ecosystems for safe liquidity if a real rarity ever emerged. Trusted platforms include global auction markets like eBay, where bidding pressure builds If photography is ethical and sharp, pro-investor floors like Heritage Auctions, coin auctions, live stream engagement markets like Whatnot, AppMex trade desks, NGC authorized dealers, ANA coin expos, vetted coin shops, antique desks, pawn brokers that respect slabs, or private treaty brokers reviewed by coin communities, not basement buyers. Always photograph coins using neutral non-color corrective white LED light capturing obverse and reverse and rims and thickness and weight if claiming off. Metal deviations. Handle coins only by edges using nitro gloves. Never touch coin fields where relief meets surface because oils permanently damage surface grade, instantly collapsing value. Avoid PVC holders which release corrosive gases that graders classify as damage, not error. Store coins in archival non-PVC flips or capsules. And now beginner collector tips performed without instructions because collectors should learn, not just hunt. Coin collecting is passion, economics, not pressure. Economics. Start by sorting coins by year, mint mark, and condition. Buy a 5x 10x magnification loupe first before extreme microscopes because beginners oversell flat machine doubling, which is not dimensionally layered like hub doubling. Never clean coins. Never polish coins, never chemically dip coins. Research auction comps ethically using PCGS Price Guide or NGC Coin Explorer, not rumors. Join coin clubs or communities before selling high tickets because negotiation language matters more than desperation language. Coins make life-changing money only when scarcity plus condition plus trust plus real auction comps intersect. Everyday 1979 D. Kennedy $50 are common but press-injured. Slab verified. One of a handful mint accidents would only theoretically climb into 6 or 7 figures if ever confirmed publicly. So dream wisely, collect patiently, verify ethically. Sell with trust, and keep searching because treasure loves prepared hands, not rushed ones. That is how coins go from printed metal to investor mythology only when proof writes the comp, not rumor alone. Always remember, in modern coin collecting communities, reputation protects value more than excitement ever can, which is why serious collectors network instead of rush. And when it comes to US era coins, especially small dollar or modern half-dollar pieces, the market behaves like a funnel, wide at the entry with common coins, narrow at the top where only authenticated anomalies survive, and that top tier is guarded by verification, preservation, historical demand, and auction comps that can actually be proven. Beginners should focus on education first because the rarest coins only become expensive when a trusted grader or auction census confirms that rarity, not when someone feels it might be gold, misaligned, doubled, or special. And if you ever want to liquidate coins safely, invest time in photography that shows the coin truthfully under non-tinted lighting. List coins on reputable marketplaces like eBay. Approach established auction houses like Heritage Coin Auctions when a coin is slab verified and investment tier. Explore live stream bidding communities like Whatnot where engagement fuels fair bidding psychology. Contact authorized dealers certified by NGC or PCGS by desks if the coin has passed grading. Visit coin expos hosted by the American Numismatic Association where networking meets liquidity authentically. Talk to local coin shops that respect slabs and provenance, or use coin club referrals for private treaty brokers who are community vetted. And for beginner collectors starting their journey, avoid cleaning, avoid experimentation, avoid PVC storage because long-term chemical corrosion becomes damage, not error. Hold coins only by their edges using gloves to avoid oil contact with coin relief and fields. Research error types using credible references like PCGS, NGC, or ANA publications. Start with a loop instead of extremes so you don't fall for flat machine doubling while thinking it's hub doubling. Learn negotiation language so you don't price coins emotionally instead of logically. And most importantly, enjoy the journey because coins are long-term patience treasures. Wealth comes to prepared hands. And stories matter, but proof matters more. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep stacking knowledge because that's where real coin value begins. Next, 1962 cents were struck for circulation in huge numbers. Carry no mint mark only in Philadelphia issues by design. And any gold color or manual modification is damage, not error. So serious value only ever exists if an extremely rare, mint authenticated One of one or one of a handful press error survivor were verified by trusted grading ecosystems such as the Authentication Authority of PCGS or Certification Ecosystem by NGC. Now here's the continuation smoothly written in one paragraph as requested. Welcome back, coin family. Whether you collected your first penny yesterday or you've been hunting mint errors for decades, whether you sort coins from jars, bank rolls, estate vaults, or antique stalls, welcome to the community where knowledge turns curiosity into confidence, where small metal discs can become monumental when rarity and authentication intersect. And today we are exploring the 1962 US 1-cent coin, a piece that sits in the same memorial cent era of US coinage. Carrying the iconic Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the memorial building on the reverse, minted in billions for circulation, legally denominated at 1 cent, and produced without a mint mark in Philadelphia by design, meaning no mint mark alone is never a premium rarity factor for 1962 because that was standard minting protocol from the Philadelphia facility, unlike Denver, D. or San Francisco's issues that year. But era coins from 1962 could theoretically rise into serious collector liquidity value only if they stem from dramatic, pre-mint die or planchet accidents, die creation anomalies, or strike chamber press failures, graded untouched and authenticated by trusted authorities. Real 1962 mint errors fall into collectibles when they are 3D raised relief anomalies, not flat machine doubling shadows or post-mint surface damage. Double die hub imaging is a theoretical high-premium vector only if doubling happened during die creation stage when imaging hubs impressed twice. Onto the working die creating raised, multidirectional, layered doubling around digits, letters, or portrait detail edges, not flat vibration shadows, which are common machine doubling, not collector doubling. A true double die 1962 cent would show raised dual relief lines around the 1962 date digits, liberty or trust inscriptions, or possibly on hair, jaw, coat, or memorial columns under magnification. The doubling would sit beneath metal flow crossover lines, not above them, which only experts verify using digital microscopy or strong zoom optics, rejecting flat doubling as non-premium. Another genuine error family is pre-mint curved clip planchets caused when coin blanks, planchets, were punched out of metal sheets imperfectly before stamping, leaving curved missing segments. Only collectible if the clip is curved and shows the Blakesley effect opposite the missing region because metal pressure redistributed away inside the press chamber, flattening opposite relief symmetrically, proving the clip happened before strike, unlike post-mint hand shaving or grinding, which is damage, not error. Broadstrike errors happen when the collar that normally holds the coin disc fixed during the strike failed to retain symmetrically, allowing metal to expand outward wider than tolerance zones, creating thinner or incomplete full rims, symmetrically distorted, unlike hammer strikes, which are aftermarket damage, not mint error. Lamination pre-splits happen only when metal strip integrity failed before disc punching, causing surface layers to peel after striking, but compressed design sits beneath peel zone, not painted above it, meaning split happened before pressure hit, unlike acid damage, which is damage, not error, and not premium collectible. Strike through debris infiltration errors happen when press grease, fibers, dust, metal microchips, leather pad specks, cloth strands, rail grit, or unknown debris covered the coin blank during strike, deleting or ghost softening design pockets. Only collectible if metal compressed beneath the void area, showing distortion from pressure, not surface engraving or tool etching above the void, meaning debris was pre-strike, not post-mint artificial damage. Another real error family is die clash errors, which happen when the obverse and reverse dies struck each other internally without a blank, injuring opposing dies, imprinting reverse relief fragments of each design on opposing dies that later strike coins, possibly creating faint reversed eagle or memorial spectral lines on opposing fields, but only collectible if belonging to mint chamber strain lines, not manual carving or tool deficiency. Another investor fascination is wrong metal planchets, where the die strikes an unintended planchet due to feed rail crossing or test batch contamination. For 1962 cents, this could theoretically involve experimental bronze, high copper alloy, or another metallurgical test planchet mistakenly struck before quality control detection, but again, only premium valuable if authenticated by experts, rejecting plated or colored coins because plating is damage, not mint error. Serious collectors and investors must always verify coins through trusted ecosystems like PCGS or NGC or US Mint, testing archive provenance, not rumor or feeling, because coins become expensive when proof writes the comp, not hype alone. Beginners must understand value is scarcity plus condition plus authentication plus real auction comps. Cleaning destroys coins forever, because it removes original mint luster and embossing, replacing error classification with damage classification, ruining market trust instantly. So never clean your coins. Now selling ecosystems for beginner safety and real liquidity. If a real rarity ever emerged, trusted marketplaces include eBay Global Bidding, where photos and ethical disclosure works for both dealers and average bidders. Pro investor auction floors like Heritage Coin Auctions, where slab verified coins sell safest. Livestream bidding platforms like Whatnot, where engagement builds fair bidding psychology. Trade liquidity desks like AppMex or PCGS by Desk or NGC, authorized dealers networks, or in-person coin shows at the American Numismatic Association events where networking meets liquidity transparently. Local coin shops that respect slabs, unlike basement buyers. Antique dealers, pawn brokers that handle certified coins. Private treaty brokers vetted by coin clubs or Reddit numismatic communities, not random buyers. Always photograph coins sharply under neutral, non-tinted lighting that shows metal truthfully, capturing obverse, reverse, rims, thickness, and weight if claiming alloy deviation, using a 0.01 gram resolution pocket scale. Ship insured, never uninsured. Handle coins only by edges using nitro gloves. Never touch the fields because oils damage surface, instantly reducing coin grade and market value. Avoid PVC holders, which release harmful gases, corroding coin surfaces over time permanently. Misclassifying coins as damaged, not error. Collectible, ruining liquidity narratives. Store coins only in non-PVC flips or coin capsules. Archival grade. Tips for beginners, again embedded smoothly because knowledge protects money more than rarity alone. Coin collecting starts with passion, not pressure. Start by sorting coins by year and condition. Invest in a basic 5x10x jeweler's loupe before you jump into extreme microscopes, so you don't fall for flat machine doubling shadows, mistaking them for hub doubling, which are raised and dimensional. Learn error families using credible references from PCGS, NGC, ANA publications, not rumors. Negotiate logically, not emotionally. Network before liquidation. Enjoy the journey because coins are patience economics. Wealth favors prepared hands. Stories matter, but evidence and authentication matter more. Keep learning, keep searching. Keep building the mindset of a real collector, where metal becomes treasure only when proof verifies the moment. Rarity and trust. Next, 1994 D1-cent coin. Part of the Memorial Cent series era, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and Lincoln Memorial on the back. Struck at the Denver Mint without precious metal for circulation, but in a zinc core with copper plating, common in mintage numbers, yet conceptually valuable only if a singular mint error exists and has been authenticated untouched. Because true value in coins comes from rarity, not rumors, and 1994 D-era possibilities fall into categories collectors hunt. Even in high mintage years, including true hub double die transfers that occur during die creation stage, not stamping stage, leaving raised multi-layered 3D doubling on date digits or letters, unlike flat machine vibration shadows, which are common and not investor premium. A real double die would duplicate relief lines on the numerals 1994 or Liberty behind pressure flow intersections, not sitting above like tooling damage. Another rare path is pre-mint curved clipped planchets, which originate when blanks are punched in completely out of metal strips before stamping, leaving curved missing rim areas that show opposite Blakesley flattening, proving clip happened before strike, unlike hand-shaved rims, which are post-mint damage and not collectible. Broadstrike pressure storms could theoretically widen the diameter if the retaining collar that holds the disc symmetrically failed inside the press chamber, allowing metal to expand, leaving thin or incomplete rims, but only meaningful if symmetrical pressure distortion shows beneath fields not hammered. Aftermarket lamination presplits could theoretically exist when metal strip integrity fails before disc creation, causing peeled surface layers that reveal compressed design imaging beneath peeled zone not resting above like chemical damage. Die clashes could theoretically imprint faint reversed elements of opposing dies and spectral mirrored relief if dies collided internally without blank injuring dies, but only classified as Premium collectible when mirrored relief lives beneath metal strain lines not engraved above them by hand. Striker grease-filled die errors could theoretically soften or delete parts of small design pockets, especially letters or date zones, but only valuable when compression continues beneath deletion void not manually carved on surface. Wrong metal planchet strikes are modern myth drivers, theoretically highest premium, but gold-tinted coins are meaningless unless verified by metallurgy tests. Proving atomic gold, not surface plating, because plating is damage not error, instantly invalidating price escalation stories. Serious collectors and investors only pursue coins that are authenticated by a trusted authority like professional coin grading service or certification desks like Numismatic Guarantee Company, rejecting counterfeit coins and damaged coins alike because damage includes plating, acid dips, engraving, rim shaving, polishing, gouges, scratches, heat damage, or PVC corrosion. That creates green oxidation slime over time. So never clean coins, because cleaning is irreversible damage, removing original mint luster, which investors value more than fantasy coloring. And now, for selling ecosystems, beginners must understand liquidation funnels safely, not emotionally. Trusted online markets include eBay global bidding zones where ethical photography invites collector and dealer appetite alike. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions host high-tier engagement only when coins are properly slabbed. Livestream bidding markets like Whatnot help drive fair bidding psychology for story-backed era coins. Bullion and numismatic trade desks like APMEX or slab buy desks like PCGS by desk or NGC authorized dealer desks purchase only when coins pass proof tiers. National Trade Expos by American Numismatic Association host in-person liquidity funnels where dealers respect slabs and provenance. Vetted local coin shops, antique buy tables, pawn brokers that respect certification, unlike basement services. Private treaty rarity brokers referred by coin clubs or Reddit numismatic communities instead of random buyers all help protect liquidity narratives. Photography tactics matter deeply so beginners don't lose value by presentation mistake. Always photograph coins sharply under neutral white LED lighting without color correction, capturing obverse and reverse and rim metal flow continuity beneath anomalies, not resting above like tools used after minting. Weight claims only matter if measured using 0.01 G resolution digital scale, comparing tolerance ranges for standard zinc or copper plate cents which weigh 2.5 grams, so deviations in wrong metal patterns would be heavier or lighter, but again only meaningful if authenticated, not just felt. Ship insured via registered coin insurance carriers, never uninsured. Handle coins only by edges with nitro gloves because skin oil's fingerprint fields instantly reduce grade and market appetite, and coins lose value from finger marks faster than age adds it. Avoid PVC holders entirely because PVC gases corrode copper plating, creating green slime oxidation that graders classify as damage not error, ruining liquidity stories instantly. Store coins in non-PVC archival flips or coin capsules instead. Beginner collecting tips expanded again so knowledge protects money faster than rarity makes it. Collecting starts with passion, not pressure. Start by sorting pennies by year, mint mark, and condition. Invest in a 5x 10x jeweler's loop first so you don't fall for flat machine vibration doubling shadows while thinking they are hub double die relief layers. Learn error families using credible references from PCGS, NGC, or ANA journals instead of rumors. Negotiate logically, not emotionally. Remember the value triangle is scarcity, condition, authentication, universal historical empathy, and real auction comps, not desire or gold color alone. Keep learning, keep searching, don't oversell common coins at fantasy prices or you'll lose trust faster than a mint error could ever earn it. Prepared hands find treasure, rushed hands lose money. Coins are patience economics. Rarity funnels are narrow. Proof writes price. Stories sell, but evidence sells higher. Trust always wins. Knowledge always protects. Treasure always favors prepared collectors. And to expand further, coin family, remember that understanding the subtle mechanics of mint errors is as important as spotting them visually. For instance, the tiniest die crack along the edge of a 1994 D penny or an unintentional die chip that transfers a small extra metal nub onto the field can become a collectible curiosity if authenticated. But beginners must differentiate between true mint-induced anomalies and post-mint damage, because scratches, dings, or corrosion that mimic die cracks, are extremely common and destroy potential value. Likewise, striking pressure variations can create weak strikes, partial strikes, or off-center impressions, and while these are interesting to collectors, only extreme, authenticated examples in top grades ever reach serious monetary attention. For safe selling, documenting these anomalies with high-resolution macro photography and ideally a short video showing coin rotation under consistent, neutral lighting is critical because buyers and graders need to see relief, edge flow, and reflective luster intact. Beyond that, building provenance for your coins, like knowing which estate they came from, whether they were stored properly for decades, or if they were part of a known mint test batch, adds enormously to collector confidence. And while exploring online platforms, always double-check seller reputation, community feedback, and grading verification. Because fraudulent listings, photoshopped, rare coins, or misrepresented plating can mislead beginners, erode trust, and reduce long-term enjoyment. Finally, as you continue your collection, develop patience, focus on learning numismatic terminology, era families, and historical context, because each coin, even a seemingly common 1994 D penny, carries a story of mint history, metal science, and American culture. And that story is what transforms your collection from a stack of coins into a treasure trove of knowledge, potential value, and enjoyment for years to come. Next, 1939 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a Philadelphia minted cent without a mint mark, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse, a coin that circulated widely in everyday life, yet continues to capture the attention of collectors because even in a common coin series, mint errors, die varieties, and unique preservation conditions can elevate value dramatically. Although standard 1939 wheat cents are common, the journey toward understanding what makes a coin valuable begins with the study of mint errors and production anomalies, for example, doubled dies, which occur when a working die is impressed more than once by the hub during die creation, producing raised, layered, multidirectional doubling on date digits, letters, or even parts of the portrait, and real collectors look for this dimensional doubling beneath the metal flow lines. Not shallow flat shadows caused by machine vibration, because only dimensional doubling indicates a genuine minting error. Another high-interest category includes clipped planchets, which happen when the coin blank is punched from the metal strip incorrectly, leaving missing segments, often curved along the rim, and collectors verify these through the Blakesley effect, where metal flows away symmetrically from the missing area, proving the clip happened pre-strike, unlike hand-altered coins which are post-mint damage and have no numismatic value. Broadstrikes and misaligned strikes are also collectible when the retaining collar fails, allowing the planchet to expand beyond standard tolerances, producing thin, incomplete rims that are symmetrical and verifiable with precise measurement tools. Lamination errors, pre-strike surface splits, die clashes, and grease-filled die anomalies can also create unique patterns and indentations that are highly collectible when verified by grading services. Yet all of these errors only reach their true collector and investor potential when the coin is slabbed and authenticated by trusted authorities such as PCGS or NGC, because aftermarket modifications, plating, polishing, cleaning, or damage instantly reduce or eliminate market value. Beginners must understand that handling and storage are as important as spotting errors. Always handle coins by their edges with gloves, never touch the fields. And avoid PVC flips or cases that can corrode the copper surface. Instead, use archival quality capsules and non-PVC flips. Photograph coins under neutral white lighting, capturing obverse, reverse, edges, and thickness accurately, and document anomalies meticulously to provide proof for buyers or auction houses. When it comes to selling, safe liquidity pathways include professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, certified online marketplaces like eBay with high seller ratings, NGC or PCGS by desks, livestream auction platforms like Whatnot, coin shows hosted by the American Numismatic Association, or private treaty brokers vetted by numismatic communities and clubs. Shipping must always be ensured, and provenance documentation from estates, archives, or long-term storage increases buyer confidence. Beyond errors, beginners should focus on education, sorting coins by year, mint mark, condition, and eye appeal, using magnification tools starting with a 5x 10x loupe, learning to differentiate real mint errors from post-mint damage. Studying die varieties from credible sources such as PCGS, NGC, and ANA publications, and understanding that value comes from scarcity, condition, and authentication, not perceived rarity or unverified claims. Coins are not only collectible artifacts but historical windows, and in the case of the 1939 wheat penny, they represent a snapshot of American life pre-World War II, the Philadelphia Mint's efficiency, and the cultural reverence for Abraham Lincoln. Every scratch, die mark, or pressure variation tells a story of metal science, press technology, and human oversight, and by learning to read these subtle clues, collectors gain an edge in spotting legitimate high-value anomalies. Remember that cleaning, polishing, or modifying coins permanently destroys their numismatic integrity and their potential to achieve top grades. Even minor finger mark oils left on the coin fields can accelerate corrosion over time, making careful handling, proper storage, and documented provenance essential to maintaining value. Finally, beginners should approach coin collecting with patience, focus, and curiosity, because while every wheat penny from 1939 is accessible, the true excitement comes from spotting a genuine anomaly, understanding its historical context, verifying its authenticity, and navigating the collector market ethically. Coins may only reach extraordinary valuations when these elements align, and even if a coin is common, the educational journey, careful observation, and development of collector expertise are valuable rewards in themselves. So keep studying die varieties, planchet errors, strike anomalies, preservation techniques, and market behaviors, because the knowledge you gain now ensures that when a genuine rare error appears, you will be prepared to recognize, authenticate, preserve, and ultimately realize its true value in a safe and credible way. And that is what transforms ordinary coins into treasures for both historical appreciation and potential investment. Continuing with the 1939 Lincoln wheat penny coin family, it's important to emphasize that even a coin that appears ordinary at first glance can hold secrets to the trained eye, and for collectors and investors, understanding the subtle interplay between mint production, die creation, metal science, and preservation is what separates casual hobbyists from serious numismatists. For instance, the pressure dynamics in the coining press can create a variety of interesting anomalies. Slide off center strikes where the design is partially shifted on the planchet, double strikes where a coin is struck more than once by the press, or weak strikes where pressure variations produce incomplete design elements, all of which can be intriguing to collectors if verified and preserved properly. The key to distinguishing these errors from common circulation ware is understanding the difference between mint-induced anomalies and post-mint damage. While many people see scratches, nicks, or discoloration and assume rarity, serious collectors know that only anomalies created during minting, such as true doubled dies, pre-strike clipped planchets, broadstrikes, or die cracks, carry collector value, and even among these, provenance and authentication are critical. Coins slabbed and graded by PCGS, NGC, or NX provide the evidence that allows collectors and investors to confidently trade rare specimens without fear of misrepresentation. This is especially true for older coins like the 1939 wheat penny, where decades of circulation, improper handling, and environmental exposure can make even well-preserved examples rare in terms of condition, and condition is a cornerstone of value, because a coin in mint state or uncirculated condition with original luster, crisp strike, and sharp detail can achieve premiums exponentially higher than worn examples. Handling coins correctly is thus paramount. Always touch by edges with gloves to avoid transferring oils or moisture. Store in archival safe, non-PVC holders to prevent chemical corrosion, and avoid cleaning, polishing, or any chemical treatments that might permanently alter the surface. Photography and documentation also play an essential role. High resolution, accurate images showing obverse, reverse, rims, edge details, and anomalies are necessary for authentication, grading, and selling, especially for online marketplaces and auction houses, while platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, whatnot, or specialized coin shows provide access to buyers and investors. Only verified, slabbed coins achieve true collector trust, and private treaty sales or vetted broker networks ensure safe transactions for high-value items. Beyond errors, collectors should develop a keen understanding of die varieties and historical minting practices. For example, small variations in the Lincoln portrait, letter spacing, wheat stock design, or mint strike pressure can identify specific dies, early test strikes, or even experimental production techniques that are historically significant. By studying these characteristics with magnification tools such as 5x, 10x loops or digital microscopes, collectors can spot anomalies and document them accurately. Beginners should also maintain a systematic approach, sort coins by year, mint mark, condition, and eye appeal, maintain records of acquisition and provenance, and learn numismatic terminology and error types from credible sources, because knowledge transforms ordinary coin hunting into strategic collection building, and the journey of collecting 1939 wheat pennies becomes about more than potential monetary gain. It is about connecting with American history, understanding the technical processes of the Philadelphia Mint, and appreciating the artistry and precision required to produce billions of coins during a period of significant social and economic change. Moreover, teaching oneself to read the subtle signs of die cracks, doubled dies, misaligned strikes, and pressure anomalies trains observation skills that are applicable across all numismatic series, and even common coins become valuable teaching tools in understanding grading, strike quality, metal composition, and preservation. Always remember that even if a coin is not rare by mintage numbers, proper handling, storage, and documentation allow collectors to maintain or even enhance value over time. And by participating in local coin clubs, online forums, or American Numismatic Association events, beginners and seasoned collectors alike can exchange knowledge, verify rare finds, and access networks that provide safe selling and buying options. The story of each 1939 wheat penny is therefore twofold. It tells the tale of American coinage during the late 1930s, including the Lincoln portrait, wheat reverse, and Philadelphia mint techniques. And it offers modern collectors a canvas to study error types, preservation methods, and market mechanics, understanding that value arises from rarity, condition, and authentication, not merely age or superficial appearance. And by consistently applying these principles, collectors ensure that when a genuine mint error or rare variant surfaces, they are equipped to identify, verify, preserve, and trade it safely, maximizing historical appreciation and potential market value. The learning process also cultivates patience and discernment, two of the most critical skills in coin collecting, because hasty decisions, emotional pricing, or reliance on rumor rather than evidence can result in missed opportunities or financial loss. Therefore, focusing on education, observation, and systematic collection practices provides both intrinsic satisfaction and long-term collector advantages. Ultimately, the 1939 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny represents not only a physical artifact of American history but also a platform for developing expertise in numismatics, a gateway to understanding minting errors, historical production techniques, grading systems, and collector networks. And by approaching these coins with respect, diligence, and careful study, collectors transform ordinary cents into meaningful additions to their collections, cultivating knowledge, skill, and preparedness for future discoveries that could include genuine errors, unusual die varieties, or historically significant specimens. And that is the essence of building a credible, engaging, and sustainable coin collection that delivers both educational and potential financial rewards over time.